All right, so we are taking a look at MyneSweepr by Limofeus. This is a roguelite MyneSweepr, right?
Well, kinda.
Kind of. Okay.
It's not. I mean, when you lose, you don't get any progress. So maybe it's roguelite, maybe it's roguelike.
Oh, in that sense, yeah, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, oh, I survived with point 0.1 health. Uh,
That's because you choose armor.
yeah,
It blocks point one damage.
point 0.1. Oh my god, I'm terrible at Minesweeper. So I clicked on the perk that gave me that armor in exchange for now I have to do math to figure
Yeah.
out.
Uh, I've got inspiration from the game called Fourth Reboot on Steam, and also there was this roguelike called, I think, Shotgun King about
Mhm.
chess. And in those games, you basically have to choose a positive perk and a negative perk in pairs. So, like, you can just always get stronger. You have to give something up.
Nice. Yeah, I do like the idea that you are always giving yourself a complication.
Yeah,
Although I got to be honest, the fact that right now the math is mostly just number minus number, the result is always one. Does that change?
well, it depends on the number because uh, if you've got some threes or twos in there, then it'll turn out three or two, basically.
Okay, okay.
So, like, uh, it just takes the number underneath and obscures it. So it's a bit harder to figure out the count of mines.
Yeah, I mean, and I think this is the funny thing is that I feel like there are some people, yourself included, for whom Minesweeper is kind of a trivial game. There is a logic to it
Really?
because it's a deductive reasoning, right? That's the way it's
Yeah,
always
yeah.
supposed to work. Yeah, but I've never fully figured out the like algorithm for solving Minesweeper. So I have a general idea when I start to see like, oh, okay, so if there's a one here, all the
Yeah,
cells
yeah.
around it were empty. I know that that means that this one must be this. If that one is covered and this one says there's only a one, then that means that this one can't be. No, wait, yes, yes, okay. But then this one's a three, so that means that all three of these are mines because that's a two. There we go. So yeah,
I have
it,
a delay in the stream, so I'm not sure.
oh
But
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
although
did not die.
it's a two on the bottom left, so it has only two mines near it, and you marked
Oh,
all three mines.
I did. Yeah, 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 yeah. See that,
Yeah.
and that is that's why I'm saying I have a general idea of how this works. I'm still going to make mistakes like that. So then I need to know that like this one over here certainly is a mine because it's got a one adjacent to it. This one in the middle is not. Dang it!
It was three. Yeah. Basically, the kind of when you get better at Minesweeper, you start to see patterns. Like here's the one on the edge, so it means there's only one cell near it, and so on and so on. And I try to break it up with math. Basically, you can just see one and figure out that there's a mine. You have to do some calculation,
Yeah.
so that might break you up a bit.
So what inspired you to make a like Minesweeper roguelike in the first place?
In the first place, I saw some YouTube videos that were like, here's a Minesweeper, but you've got this equation that you need to solve to figure out the number of mines, and I decided to run it into a game. But then I actually, uh, if you don't mind, if you don't mind, I want you to look for a perk, for a negative perk, a red one, called Mine Shift, which would basically shift mines around. I don't want to spoil it a bit, but you can look on the screenshots on the game's page.
Okay. I I want everyone to know I knew full well that was a mine on the top right corner, but I left click instead of right click.
I saw it.
You just have to take my word for it. Okay. So okay, this one in the corner means that one's a one for sure, which means that one is safe. No, no, this one over here is safe. Um, This being a 2, it's only touching these two, so these both have to be mines. That's 1, 2, 3, so that one's safe. That's a 4. Okay. Yeah, see, it weirdly, like, when I only need to follow one edge to start making connections, I get it pretty well. And then the more I need to start looking for other numbers in other places, that's where it just falls apart in my brain.
Mhm.
Well, don't worry, Dr. Tronic, we will never see mind shift because I'm not gonna get that far. Okay, so let me think here. Um, we got a we got a 3 here, which means yeah, those are covered. A 1 here, that's covered, which means this one is definitely safe. Yes, and then if that's a 2, then one of these must be a mine. If that's a 3, then that or that could be a mine. If that's a 2, then any of these 3 could be a mine. If that's a 4 and a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, this is where I get stuck. This is where I get stuck in MyneSweepr because right now it
Well, I
feels.
think the bottom left of the 4 is guaranteed mine because to the bottom and to the bottom right of the 4 is 1 mine guaranteed because of the 2. And because there's 4 mines in total, there's bottom left 1 guaranteed.
But if the 2 is here, then why does the 2 not these bottom immediate right and bottom right? Why is that not possible for the 2?
I meant the other 2, the 2 that's
Oh,
to
this
the
one over
right of the
here.
4.
I see. Okay, so this 2 here guarantees that.
It implies that to the bottom or to the right bottom of the 2, only one mine exists. That makes 3 mines total for the 4, and the 4th mine is bottom left to the 4.
Yeah, I don't see it. I honestly it doesn't click in my brain. This is what I'm talking about. Like I need somebody to like draw a diagram that explains this exhaustively to me because it just doesn't make sense. Like I I I guess that's 1. So if that's 1, then that's okay.
And if the other one is a mine, then
And
4
here,
again,
then that's
you
not.
have to choose
Okay.
this one.
Yeah. Okay. I uh yeah.
Did you just click randomly on the? Okay. I guess this worked out.
I no. I didn't click randomly on this because this was a 4, and I'd already identified these other ones as mines. I think or not. Tell me if I'm doing it wrong.
Well,
Don't know.
it was guaranteed that the bottom left of the 4 is a mine, but it
Yeah.
wasn't guaranteed that the bottom of the 2
Oh.
is a mine.
Okay.
So it was a 50-50.
I don't. This is what I'm talking about. I don't know. Don't know what I'm doing. Okay. So these 3 are mines, which means this one's not. This one's not. This one's not. This one's a mine. So this one's. Yay! We did it. Okay. Okay. We didn't get the one danger cell will be revealed at the start of each level. Okay, let's pick that just to try and go a little faster. Great. Yeah. Okay, that one's a mine. That one's a mine. That one's not. That one is. Okay. Um. At some point, I am going to have to move on just because me being terrible at MyneSweepr, like, I would love to see Mind Shift in action. I don't know if it's going to happen. Okay.
I can try to do a quick build without death, basically, without being able to game over.
You know what? Um, it's I already appreciate the fact that this is MyneSweepr with HP because that it gives you a little bit of wiggle room. Um, and everyone's making such a big deal of the fact that I cleared the first level in the game. Uh, okay, so that one is a 1 for sure. So that's 3. That means all 3 of these are mines. So if this is a mine, then that satisfies this 1, which means this one's not. And if that's a 4, then that means... okay, hang on. So this is a 2, and that's a 2. So that's these two for sure are mines, which means that one of these 3 is a mine. No, I just start getting impatient, and then I... Okay, it's 1, 2, 3... No, okay. I can't. Uh, all right. See, the only time I ever played MyneSweepr was when I just started making random clicks, and then
Hmm.
I ended up like doing kind of well, and then eventually I would get to a point where I solved it. That is the only way that I would play MyneSweepr, is like recklessly, like what you're seeing me do right now.
Well, uh, I mean, the generation algorithm, I know that some MyneSweeper variants have this strange, complicated generation algorithm that guarantees that there is some way to logically deduct the solution
Mm-hmm.
without the randomness. But in this case, I just randomly generate mines without overlapping, of course. So there's some logic to it, but uh, there could be pure random situations.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, it's. I think that's fine because I'm not going to know the difference anyway. Um, but yeah, I wish we could show off. Like, I think my suggestion for something like this is, people have played Minesweeper before. It's like one of the
Yeah.
only games that comes pre-installed on Windows. Could I suggest that the game starts with a perk so that you are immediately not just playing Minesweeper?
Yeah, I was thinking about that, but I want to make it like more of a roguelike, so you have to choose perks over time. Although I can initially throw some perks in, yet for the first game, I thought that player could be a bit overwhelmed by perk choices initially, I mean.
I mean, I don't think that's true because the very first level is just Minesweeper. So if you know
Yeah,
how
yeah.
Minesweeper works,
Maybe I could do it like a tutorial level, just normal Minesweeper.
yeah, having the option to like sort of play tutorial and then play like actual starting into the game that does start you with a perk would be nice.
If you go on the itch.io page right now, I think I just uploaded the deathless version. Uh, you can just try it out to see how the Mineshift perk works.
It's nice of you not to label it baby mode for Gabriel. Oh, that Dr. Tronic's got a good suggestion here. Replacing a number with the corresponding letter.
Interesting. I actually thought uh, there are these YouTube meme videos about number 9 being in Minesweeper, and I thought like maybe I could make double mines or triple mines in one cell, but it would mess up the gameplay a lot.
Oh my
But this
gosh.
way, maybe I could. So try
Minesweep
to just open all the cells. You shouldn't die, in theory.
Minesweeper, but it's actually Bad Apple. No. Hey. We okay, mind shift. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, okay. Negative 1/3 HP. Um,
Also, the starting point shows you the point where you can click, and
yeah.
there will be 0 mines around it.
Okay, okay. So here we go. This is the fabled 1.5, which does that mean if you click on either cell, it's rigged?
Uh, you can see for yourself.
Yeah, I get. Okay, so
Oh, number.
that was just okay. Yes, yes. I did click it, and it did make me lose. Oh, I see. But you
1.5
only lose
HP.
half a health unit. Okay. So,
Yeah, and
so
you
if
can open the other cell.
you could you could just knowingly take the damage by clicking the other one.
Yeah, in this case, I also found that not just making half mines in one cell. Uh, I mean, it would be more interesting to make the mine shift between the cells, so that if you uh, struggle to find what you need to do, you can just click, and if you explode on a half mine, you already know where the other half of the mine is.
Yeah, no, it is actually quite generous because then you on top of the fact that you already have the 3 HP, like the sort of 3 strikes you're out, you have this additional, like, you don't lose HP as quickly because you've only half stepped on the mine.
Yeah.
Uh,
I also think about. I have a lot of perk ideas, but uh, most of them like not negative, but at the same time they aren't positive. Like I have this idea of making a perk that reverses damage, basically one divided by the damage. So if you explode on a normal mine, you'd get one damage, but if you explode on a half mine, you get two damage instead of half damage. Something like this.
oh man. Okay, I mean, I think the most fun thing is going to be like Tronic has already suggested one, so let's see if anyone else in chat has a suggestion for more perks in this game. Um, I'm trying to think of like I think that the one that comes to me most obviously is like if you perfect clear a board, then you get HP back.
That's an interesting idea. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But at the same time, if you perfectly a board, then you haven't lost any HP, so why would you need it?
Well, presumably, if you've lost HP from a previous level,
I
then
mean,
this would
yeah,
give you
yeah.
the opportunity to recover it.
Although uh, personally, I don't really love this kind of gameplay mechanic. Like, I played Enter the Gungeon, and in this game, if you kill a boss without getting a single hit, you get the item that boosts your to one more health. And I didn't really like that a lot because when you start out, you feel like you're a lot weaker because you just can't clear bosses without getting damage.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like it does lead to a sort of runaway effect, depending on how it's
Yeah.
implemented. So that's why I said like it's the first thing I thought of. It's by no means something that I feel strongly about.
There are
Okay.
also some perks that uh, appear when you have some perks already. So, for example, you just took a simple math negative perk, and now you have a chance that there appears a complex math, or I don't know how I called it, don't remember. Uh, but basically, square equations.
Oh boy.
That means, and square equations have two solutions, and one of them is generated on random. So you wouldn't get precise number. You have to deduct between two numbers to know how many mines are actually between the near
Yeah, I
itself.
mean, I
And you'll have to zoom in for this one.
yeah, I mean, I can see it here. It's this x minus one, x minus four. Uh, I I
So it's
mean,
either 1 or 4.
oh, is that all it is? Oh, right, because
Yeah.
this is already the roots of the equation. Yeah. Because you can convert this into the form ax squared plus bx plus c. But this is already showing you the roots of the equation.
Yeah, that's the form where you already get both roots of the equation.
Right. Because these are both valid, that's what you were saying, that like it could be one or the other.
Yeah,
I see. Okay.
that was pretty easy because there's just no place for 4 mines to fit.
Yeah, I see. Like by context, you can infer that that one has to be a one. So that's probably yeah, like that. Um, yeah, all these half binds. Step on all mines speed run. Okay, so tall field, easy one. Oh yeah, we get another thing
I
revealed. We
think
also get
the
more mines
ones,
added.
the perks that are left are pretty boring, like
Okay,
more wide field or more mines, something like this.
yeah. I guess so part of my brain would really love the ability to like click on a cell as like 2 plus 0. I would love to just be able to like click on that cell and type in 2. Or if something
Mm.
is like a square equation, to just be able to like type in the answer, like click on a cell, edit its contents so
Yeah.
that it's um,
Also, in chat, Dr. Turing suggests that that should be a perk. I think this should be like not a perk, but uh, you have to be able to do it without a perk, basically. For me, when I was playtesting it with shifted minds, it was like I really wanted to mark where I figured out a half mine and when I figured out a full mine. So I plan on adding that if I were to continue the game.
yeah. I think that honestly, just the ability to like enter doodle mode or something, where you could like just scribble
Yeah,
over
yeah.
top of something. Um, it, it it all depends on whether you want to make it easier to do in your head or harder, if that makes sense.
No, no, no. I completely agree that the player should be able to. The way to put it is to the player should not grab their phone, a photo of the screen, and make notes on the phone.
Yeah,
That would be just stupid.
I think that like that is what it comes down to. Is like in a lot of these games, people say like, oh, you shouldn't make it easier for the player, they should have to do it in their head. It's like, okay, well, what you're saying is that someone is going to have to go through the extra effort,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and it's not actually
If
changing the
someone just
difficulty.
doesn't want to do it in their head, they will find the other way to do it. And as a game developer, I think I should uh, make this way an official way to play the game. Like if someone wants to play it this way.
Mhm. Some of the colors of the math equations are very hard to read. Yes, I have noticed that, like,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
and it helps that you can zoom in, right? Um, but let's just expose some here. So this one over here is like running over the edge slightly. Um, this 3 minus 2
This
is
is
very close.
the biggest problem I had with Godot because it does not has automatic text scaling. It doesn't has any out of fit text to box or anything. I was used to it in Unity. I always used it in Unity, but I tried
Mhm.
to make this game at Godot, and this was the biggest downside of Godot, uh, in my opinion.
Do you but I would have to assume that Godot has the ability to return the width of a printed string. Like that's a pretty standard feature.
Yeah, but uh, you have to supply it with font, then you have to calculate for yourself the cell size, and like it was too complicated for me to do in an evening. So
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
if I
yeah.
again, if I were to continue it, I'd figure something out.
I think there's probably, first of all, I imagine there are people who have created solutions for this already. But I guess the
Yeah, probably.
what you're trying to do is look at the size of a cell, give yourself a little bit of padding, and then figure out what is the largest size you could make the font such that it will fit within that block. And you can decide if you want to allow the possibility of a new line or not. But I think the idea fundamentally of just running a quick loop to just say like, you know, iterate over the size the font is allowed to be, and just say like, start at a small number, keep checking to see if it'll fit, and then whatever the largest possible size that will fit is, you store that, so you're not doing this every frame. You're just doing it at the very first the first time that number needs to be displayed in a cell.
I really didn't want to do it in a loop because I actually prepare all the numbers before the game generates because I want to take the most computing power. I mean, I want to take the most time loading a level, but then the player should be able to play it seamlessly without any lags or delays when they suddenly open a large amount of cells, and each cell has to load in the number, the font, the width, and everything else.
Okay, well, then how about this? Instead of using an iterative loop like that, what you could do is just manually keep track of the create like a lookup table for the width of a string and then what font
That's
size
what
it
I do
should.
right now.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm doing right now. So for normal numbers, it's like 40 pixels font size or something. For simple equations, it's like 30, and for complex, it's like 15, something like this. So some of them, because of this, get out of their uh, bounds.
Yeah, I see that. That's why we end up with these situations where some of these equations go over. But I think more than that, it's actually some of the color choice, like especially this 3 - 2. Like if it gets too close to the background, um, I try to look at something like this in black and white. So I actually got Photoshop open. So I tried to see what does this image look like. Image mode, grayscale. Yes, yes. There we go. So anything like even the 2 is a little hard to read. The
Can you
0.
can you turn up the contrast? Because I remember interesting thing. I remembered that basically, if you want a game to be readable, you have to turn it black and white and turn up the contrast to maximum so that there's only black and white. This would be the most readable parts of the game.
Oh,
So I
okay.
wonder what would it look like.
I guess. Okay, that didn't do anything. Image adjustments. I don't know how to do that.
Okay, it's fine
I
then.
mean, I guess contrast. I can just boost the contrast like this, but I don't like the thing that you're describing. I don't exactly know how to
I
do.
just saw it some time ago that like uh, it was a
Something like
what it was called? Can't remember. Like some kind of Team Fortress 2 overview, like game dev overview,
mm,
and they just took random screenshots from Team Fortress 2, turned it black and white, turned up the contrast to the maximum, and you could like see where each person was, what was their class they were using, what were they doing, and what team they were on. So like I remembered it as a good solution. So yeah, like you can see half the numbers and you can see the other half the numbers.
yeah. So as I sort of step down the contrast that I've boosted there, you can sort of see some of the numbers just disappear because
Yeah.
they're just too close to that. Um, and is your objective to make every color that results in the same value the same? So
No, no, no.
no, it's not.
Then
Okay.
you just. I mean, for normal numbers, yeah, it works like a normal MyneSweepr. All ones are
Yes.
blue, all twos are green.
Yeah.
But for equations, I don't want just to give up what the result is.
Yeah. Of course. Um, so is it picking a random number or a random color?
There is a list of colors, and I typed it basically randomly. I just typed color dot and looked through colors that were there. Color dot red, color dot green, and some of them turned out to be too bright, I guess.
Okay. I mean that's an easy fix. All
Yeah.
things said. Cool. Yeah. I mean, so do you plan on spending much more time working on this, or is this kind of like as far as you wanted to go with the project for now?
I mean, I think it would depend on the feedback because uh, it could be hard to uh, add perks that are interesting, but at the same time aren't just to mess around with, so that you can actually play the game with them. So in that regard, if I were to think of more perks to add, and if some people would be interested in that, maybe I could continue it. But at the same time, I don't have a lot of free time right now, so
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's I'm wondering, like, how do you really modify Minesweeper? Because
yeah,
this
yeah,
is sort of honestly, the half mines might be the thing that modifies the game the most. The the mathematical equations are a layer of
just to
abstraction.
obscurify, yeah.
Exactly, but they're not actually changing the gameplay.
Mhm.
So the half mines are definitely a good start. Um, and I'm just trying to think, like, what else is a actually like unique way to change the game?
Again, I was thinking about adding two mines of the same cell, but then
Hmm.
you just can't tell if it would be harder to tell, I think, because with half mines, you get this uncertainty of is it two half mines or is it one normal mine?
Mm,
But then again, you know that if there is one half mine, that means on the neighboring cell there is another half mine because they're just shifted.
yeah,
But with double mines, you just have no way to tell if there's just one cell with two mines or two cells with one mine in each.
yeah. Oh, so here's an idea. You want to change how Minesweeper plays. Combine Minesweeper with Brick Breaker. You have to play the entire game with a little ball that you're
Yeah,
bouncing.
that's basically the end of my thinking was always just what if I make the cells play tic tac toe or something? But then again, that's just not Minesweeper, so why bother?
Mm. Yeah, I mean, other than like making things even more cursed and putting the mines on the
The
diagonal
thing
so that it's a
I
quarter
really
mine.
wanted to put in uh, were uh, what are they called in English? Imaginary numbers.
Oh no.
I square of -1, like this thing, but
Yeah.
I have no idea how to implement it.
You'd have to have an imaginary plane. You'd have to have like a
Yeah, yeah,
three-dimensional
it
version.
will be 3D.
Minesweeper in 3D would actually be a little interesting.
Someone done it probably already.
Yeah. I wonder how you like chip away at the outside of something and like can you get inside a surface that's like that? How do you control it? There's a lot of obstacles, but it'd be interesting. 2 times 2 mine might take the double mine concept but presents it like a half mine that is less ambiguous, gives the player more data if they hit one. Interesting. Um, yeah, I mean, I think that the having like just one big mine, right? Like that's what you're talking about by a 2 times 2 mine. You mean
Yeah,
like
yeah.
one mine that occupies like 4 cells?
I thought of both one mine in the intersection of four cells
Yeah,
and one big mine like capturing all the four cells. And as for the first one, but there's just a small mine, it would be uh, like a quarter of mine for each cell.
yeah.
This would just be the same thing as half mines, but I guess it would be okay. Although I'll have to deal again with font sizes because they would be just. I'll have to deal with font sizes. And as for a big mine, that would be hard to interpret in terms of is it one mine or is it like one big mine that is equal to four mines?
That's
So
true.
yeah,
In terms of the presentation for half and quarter mines, what you could do is actually use a mixed fraction. So you could present things as like 1 and 1/2 or 1 and 1/4. That might be a
yeah,
little
yeah, that's an
cleaner.
interesting idea. Yeah.
Obviously, there's not an easy way to represent that unless the font you're using happens to have halves and quarters, like mixed fractions built into it. But
I found some add-on for Godot which was like I think LaTeX or latex, no idea
yeah,
how
yeah.
to pronounce it. Mathematical formulas basically, but it was a bit broken, I think.
Mm.
and you had to use it for sprites, not for UI elements. So I'm not sure for that.
Yeah. I mean, fundamentally, replacing these with sprite fonts instead of regular fonts would also help, but I don't know how easy it is to implement sprite fonts in Godot.
Yeah, I haven't looked into it as well.
Okay, well, I'm going to relaunch the regular version of the game without the training wheels, just because I want to see if I can do a little better before we wrap things up. But yeah, Limofeus, was there any other feedback, anything else you want to discuss before we wrap things up for today?
Um, I don't know. I think that's pretty much all.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me on the stream and showing this off. I mean, it's. Ah! I wish I was better at this, but you know, it's definitely it's a lot of fun. It's a fun twist on MyneSweepr. Maybe it is just like a short sort of game jam kind of small project that doesn't go super
Although it
far,
took
but
me like 10 or 11 days. So
it like 10 hours over the course of 11 days.
10 or 11 days, like one evening each day. I
Oh,
spent
okay.
2 or 3 hours.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's I I wouldn't know exactly how hard it is to implement something like this myself, but seems like a
Although
decent.
I actually liked it more than working for a game jam or something because I knew that I had all the time in the world to make this.
Yes, I think that is it is something that's come up on the channel a few times. Is like sometimes it's nice to just go at your own pace. Like it is a sort of self-imposed game jam. You're
Yeah,
working on
even though
something.
the project is pretty easy, I just felt
Yeah,
that it was pretty satisfying to work on it without any time restrictions.
absolutely. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on the stream and showing off MyneSweepr, spelt differently. It sounds the same when I say it out loud, but anyway.
Actually, I wanted to add some lore into the game, and figuring out how to spell the name of the game would be the ending of the game.
Huh. Let's spell the name like uh no, I knew it. I knew that I was a mine. Oh, that's a 5, so I think that's yeah. I nearly perfect cleared that one. I'm so annoyed. Okay. Yeah, I think we're gonna call it there. And yeah, if you do end up continuing wait, how do I close? Oh, can I not close the game? Wait, do I have to Alt
I'm not
F4?
sure. I had some issues with Godot full screen mode, so I made it exclusive full screen or whatever, and
Okay.
it bugged out a bit.
Cool.
I'll
Well,
have to look into it.
I will put the link in chat one more time. Again, the password is 1234 if anyone wants to check it out. Yeah, I wish you the best of luck with this. And if you do end up making like
Thank
a
you.
an updated version, I'd be happy to check it out.
Neat. I'll stay in the chat then.
Cool.
Good luck playing all the other games.
All right, thank you. Bye for now.